Hello and welcome to Verdict 2015, our special broadcast on all news and updates on Bihar polls, where we also get you analysis from our team of experts. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us begin with the election headlines. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi to address 3 rallies in Bihar today. Rallies after RJD chief's announcement that Grand Alliance partners won't campaign together. Cases filed against BJP President Amit Shah and RJD Chief Lalu Prasad after Election Commission pulls them up for controversial remarks during Bihar poll rallies. RJD's Meesa Bharti speaks exclusively to Rajya Sabha TV, speaks about the caste factor in the polls, says RJD Chief Lalu Prasad is singled out for criticism. And in focus today, the Naxal issue in Bihar, which is the biggest challenge for the administration in the polls. Our top story, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will address 3 rallies in poll-bound Bihar today in support of the Mahagathbandhan or the Grand Alliance that also includes the JDU and the RJD. Now, he will be addressing the rallies in Begusarai, Shekhpura and Rohtas districts of Bihar. Elections for the 243-member Bihar Assembly will be held in 5 phases between 12th of October and 5th of November, and the counting of votes will take place on 8th of November. The term of the current Bihar State Assembly expires on 29th of November. The rallies come after RJD Chief Lalu Prasad's clarification that a joint campaigning of the Grand Alliance is unlikely. All right, let's get a perspective on that story. Dr. Shakeel, who's a political analyst, is now joining us. Good morning, Dr. Shakeel, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Dr. Shakeel, how do you look at Lalu Prasad's decision not to campaign alongside Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi for the Bihar elections, that they will go alag-alag? How do you look at that decision?
There seems to be some problem in the chemistry between Sonia Gandhi's Congress and Lalu Yadavji's, because I think it was Lalu Yadav who had made an issue during the UPA 2 government when there was a bill was introduced in the parliament protecting the criminal politicians and so on and so forth, and he tore the bills and all. So this must be having a bearing on the minds of Lalu, that he is the person who opposed this idea, otherwise possibly he won't have been in jail under that fodder scam case in which he is one of the prime accused. So this could be one reason. And secondly, that when Sonia visited Banka this few days ago, she did not name Lalu in her speech. That could be another reason and bearing on the mind of Lalu, that they are trying to distance themselves. And thirdly, possibly it was Congress which had a very crucial role in getting around Lalu Prasad Yadav to accept Nitish as its chief ministerial candidate, because the relationship before that was very bitter between them. So I think all these things taken together is have a bearing on the mind of the behavior of Lalu Prasad Yadav of not joining joint rallies with Congress top leaders.
Right, but Dr. Shakeel, at such a crucial time when the elections are just, the first phase of elections are just few days away, at that time, if the Mahagathbandhan is showing that there are some chinks in the armor, how do you think it is going to affect the Mahagathbandhan's prospects in these elections?
Look, if you look at the general scenario, yes, there are chinks in the armor of the Mahagathbandhan by such acts, but the people, I think, are more carried away. I mean, the polarization of vote is going on the basis of 2 things. One has been the caste alliance, as is the famous proverb that all over the people cast their vote. In Bihar, we vote for the caste. So that is a very important consideration, and if you see the arithmetic of the caste, so these small bickerings just might not affect the majority of the voting pattern in the state. But nonetheless, these are not good signals which are emitting from the Grand Alliance. And now Rahul Gandhi is today in Bihar. Let's see how things are happening. Because when Lalu came to Bihar for the first time and held a rally in Champaran area, so Lalu's son participated in that rally,
Yes.
though Lalu did not go himself. So there are signs of coming together as well, but there are some signals which say that everything is not well as far as Congress and RJD is concerned in the Grand Alliance.
And the Mahagathbandhan is saying that the strategy is that the top leaders should campaign separately to cover more ground. On the other hand, the NDA alliance is totally relying on Prime Minister Modi. So how is that going to really affect both the alliances?
No, for the NDA alliance, possibly Prime Minister Modi is the best bet. And that's why in all the campaigns initially it was only Modi and nobody else, either in the posters or in the hoardings or in the everywhere it was only Modi, because the NDA wanted to cash on the popularity of PM Narendra Modi. But in Bihar, for the Grand Alliance, Nitish and Lalu have their respective areas of supporters, and Congress is that way is not that strong, so they are banking on both Nitish and Lalu's charisma in Bihar's electoral scenario. So this has become almost, initially it was almost a 1-to-1, Narendra Modi on the NDA side and Nitish on the other side, but during the election campaign, Lalu, through some of his controversial remarks and through his general credibility among a section of voters, especially Yadavs and Muslims, he has made a niche and he has become very crucial for the Grand Alliance electoral campaign this time around.
So Mahagathbandhan says that they are united, but there are certain some fault lines that seem to be appearing. Dr. Shakil, you stay with us. We'll just come back to you for more perspective on other stories as well. Meanwhile, RJD Chief Lalu Prasad and BJP President Amit Shah were booked on Tuesday for their remarks against each other during campaigning for the Bihar Assembly elections. Now, both had taken pot shots at each other during their rallies. In Begusarai, Amit Shah had referred to Lalu Prasad's conviction in a fraud scam case, and Lalu hit back at the BJP president a day later over his alleged role in the 2002 Gujarat riots. The FIRs were registered at Patna and Jamui against Lalu for the remark, which the Election Commission found violative of the Representation of Peoples Act and also under IPC sections.
1 अक्टूबर को ANI को ही कुछ बयान दिया गया था जो आपत्तिजनक पाया गया जांच में। उसके बाद एग्जीक्यूटिव मजिस्ट्रेट के रिपोर्ट पर सचिवालय थाने में FIR दर्ज कर ली गई है और उसकी पुलिस जांच कर रही है।
All right, let's go back to Dr. Shakil. Dr. Shakil, now Lalu Prasad and Amit Shah have been booked for barbs at each other. So how do you think the people of Bihar look at such oral vicious attacks?
Unfortunately, the language of political discourse has gone down in this country as a whole. And it's not only a president of the ruling party at the country is using such languages which cannot be termed as parliamentarian or civilized. Similarly, Lalu has been in a habit of using such remarks and comments against his adversaries, and not to forget about another rebel rouser whose name has also been who has also been filed an FIR against his junior Owaisi in Kishanganj district recently. All these people, they are going down, they are bringing down the quality of debate, personifying the attacks and least speaking on the policies and the issues that matter to the electorates, and they are abusing each other, trying to score over each other. They get few claps when they say so in their meetings. They have a committed audience sitting over there who will raise their hands whatever they will say. So this is not good for Indian politics. And as far as Election Commission is concerned, they should see to it that it takes its logical course. What we have seen in past, that FIRs are lodged, but no necessary, if sufficient follow-up has ever been done. A simple pyramiding or simple telling that, well, they should refrain from future and so on and so forth. So the acts under which these FIRs have been lodged, the investigation should take its normal course, and they should come to make a example of it, if that the politicians in the elections or even outside the election, if they are using such intemperate languages, they are taken to task and booked under the law of the country.
And looking at these barbs, really, do you think Nitish's popularity has taken a hit after his tie-up with Lalu Prasad?
In middle class section of the society, you can say a section, especially in the urban middle class, they don't consider Lalu a very good choice for the Bihar. But if you look in the rural Bihar, which is about 89% of the population in this state, and the election being fought entirely on the caste identity, so I don't think there is going to be much of the difference on the popularity of Nitish. And as we have seen in few of the surveys which has come out in a section of press, that about half of the population still considers that Nitish is the best chief ministerial prospect. So that reflects that as far as the popularity of Nitish is concerned, it has not been dented by his joining hands with Lalu Yadav, but in a minuscule section, of course, in the urban elites and urban middle class.
And how are the people of Bihar really, most of them, how do they view the fact that Nitish Kumar walked out of the NDA? Do you think that the people think that Nitish made a big political mistake by doing so?
Coming out of NDA, you mean?
Yes.
That by... That's what you wanted to know, Aishwarya, coming out of NDA?
Yes,
or what?
Yes.
I don't think that Nitish made a mistake by going with the BJP in the first phase for 17 years, and now questions are being asked by Nitish because he was very happily sitting with them for last 17 years and had no scruples about going with them. But during last 3 years, he may take a political gamble, and he took the political gamble that as Modi was projected as the Prime Minister candidate, and the constituency which he serves in Bihar was not very happy, especially the Dalits or the Muslims or extremely backward caste. So he took the gamble and came out of the NDA alliance. And one must not forget that Nitish also has got a little bit of political arrogance. So I don't think that the Bihar electorate, but for the a section of the upper caste who think that going out of Nitish from NDA was not a wise decision, but for the majority of OBCs, EBCs, Dalits and Muslims, I don't think they have any problem of Nitish going out of NDA. As a matter of fact, they are happy Nitish going, because there is a huge section in Bihar who thinks that the credential of secular democratic forces is more powerful here. It has never been known for any right-wing shift in politics in Bihar. It has been always either ruled by socialists or Congress here over a period of last 65 years. So this right-wing shift in Bihar politics is not very strong.
Okay.
So in this background, because the tradition of the Socialist Party is very strong in Bihar, so by going this yardstick, I don't think that Nitish made a mistake by coming out of NDA.
And what about the fact that he removed Jitan Ram Manjhi from the post of Chief Minister after installing him? Do you think that has actually rankled Mahadalits? Or do they actually consider it probably as an insult to the Dalit community?
I think that was one of the biggest political blunders which Nitish has made. He wanted to rise on a high moral pedestal by resigning after the defeat in Lok Sabha elections in 2014 and then picking up a person like Jitan Kumar Manjhi, who was a non-entity as far as the state level politics of Bihar is concerned, by picking him up and making him Chief Minister, thinking that the people will appreciate this move. But when he crossed his brief, Mr. Jitan Ram Manjhi, and he wanted to assert himself against the political and administrative advice of Nitish, it became very difficult for Nitish to keep him on the CM's post. So yes, a section of Dalits to which Manjhi belongs, they are unhappy because now he became, after being a chief minister, though for a very small period, tenure, he became an icon of that particular caste to which he belongs. So that was a political blunder by Nitish, by making him chief minister in the first place and then removing him later on.
All right, Dr. Shakil, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your perspective on that story. Meanwhile, RJD chief Lalu Prasad's older son, Tej Pratap Yadav, is a year junior to his younger brother Tejaswi Yadav. Now, this is according to the voters list. Tejaswi, however, claimed that there is no dispute with regard to his age and said that the Election Commission was aware of it. Here's a report.
RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav's younger son is 26 and older son is 25. According to an affidavit filed with the returning officer of Mahua Assembly seat, Tej Pratap is 25 years old, while the one filed by Tejaswi for the Raghopur seat on Saturday shows he is 26.
The roll, the voter list पर voter उम्र है, that is the valid, that is the final. कहाँ क्या है नहीं उससे कोई मतलब नहीं. ये फजुल्ला जो अज्ञानी लोग चला रहा है, बिल्कुल जायज है, लीगल है, जो उम्र है वही है.
The mistake means that Tej Pratap is his younger brother's junior, at least in this election.
कोई डिस्प्यूट ही नहीं है भैया. जो वोटर लिस्ट में जो होता है वही पर्चे में भरना पड़ता है, एफिडेविट में भरना पड़ता है, जो करके हम लोगों ने भरने का काम किया है. इसमें गलत क्या है? जो वोटर लिस्ट में जो प्रिंटिंग होती है उसमें मेरा भी फोटो किसी और का फोटो है, मेरे बड़े भाई का भी जो है वो किसी और का फोटो है. इसमें प्रिंटिंग एरर है. उसमें क्या है? उसमें जो वोटर लिस्ट में है वही एफिडेविट में भरना पड़ता है, वो भरा गया.
The state's chief electoral officer Ajay Naik said that it was a technical error and corrections cannot be made in the middle of the election process. Although RJD leaders said Tej Pratap's age row could have been a case of oversight, it has left many in the party red-faced. Those who have observed the two say that this role reversal is a sign, one that reflects on the brothers' dynamics. Along with their sister Misha Bharati, they are the only ones among Lalu Prasad's 9 children to enter politics.
और मुझे लगता है कि अब महुआ के लोग तेज प्रताप को अगर अपनी विश्वास तेज प्रताप में दिखाते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि क्योंकि मैं एक बहन होने के नाते, मैं पार्टी के नाते नहीं कह रही हूँ, मैं एक बहन होने के नाते मुझे लगता है कि तेज प्रताप इस समस्या से जरूर निजात दिलाएगा.
Unlike Tejaswi, who dropped out of school in 2006 to pursue cricket and business, Tej Pratap passed his intermediate from the Bihar School Examination Board in 2010. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And on to NDA alliance now. Well, former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar and BJP leader Sushil Kumar Modi promised to frame a legislation to ban cow slaughter in the state if NDA comes to power in the assembly elections. Now, Modi said this in a statement on Monday. Now, directing his comments at the ruling state government, Modi also said that though Bihar has a law of banning slaughter of cows below 14 years of age, the same has not been effectively implemented. Let's listen to some political reactions on the issue.
तो जहां केंद्र की नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार ने गायों को कटने से रोकने का काम किया है, वहीं लालू यादव, नीतीश कुमार, सोनिया गांधी गौ मांस खाने की बात कर रहे हैं। बिहार में हम लोग की सरकार बनेगी तो हम गोवध बंदी का कानून लाएंगे।
सुशील मोदी जी तो मुख्यमंत्री बनने के लाइन में हैं और वो अपने होश खो बैठे हैं, वो याददाश्त भी खो बैठे हैं। याददाश्त उनको नहीं है कि बिहार में गोवध पहले से ही बैन है, काऊ स्लॉटर पे बैन है, और वो कह रहे हैं कि जब सरकार बनेगी तो काऊ स्लॉटर पे बैन करेंगे।
बिहार में 1955 से काऊ स्लॉटर पर बैन है। आज बिहार की आवाम को बीफ बैन या काऊ स्लॉटर से मतलब नहीं है। आज बिहार की आवाम को ये चाहते हैं कि इंसानों को कुछ फायदा पहुंचे।
And in Verdict 2015, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more election news. Stay with us.
Bihar election is going to be a referendum on centre's performance.
Narendra Modi cannot be judged for his performance in Bihar, but he can certainly be judged on what he promised and what he delivered, which is essentially the performance of the central government.
When a person like Nitish Kumar stands by the side of Lalu Prasad, the general perception is that he's a symbol of corruption.
Mr. Lalu Prasad cannot stand for the elections nor be the chief minister. He has endorsed Nitish Kumar.
Welcome back. Now, in Straight Talk today is RJD's Meesa Bharti. Now, she gets candid about her take on the caste issue in the state. Lalu Yadav's daughter says that her father, an RJD chief, is singled out for criticism over the issue.
महुआ विधानसभा क्षेत्र से प्रत्याशी आरजेडी प्रत्याशी तेज प्रताप की बहन और आरजेडी की नेता मीसा भारती जी हमारे साथ हैं। अभी अपन ने देखा कुछ साल पहले मैडम थोड़ा सा आरजेडी का ग्राफ गिरा है, तो क्यों आप मतलब आरजेडी को इस बार लोग वोट दें, क्या खास कारण है इसका?
देखिए, आरजेडी वैसे देखा जाए तो सबका ग्राफ गिरा है। लोकसभा चुनाव को अगर आप छोड़ दें, मोदी जी जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी हमारे प्रधानमंत्री हैं, उन्होंने क्या सिर्फ वादे ही किए हैं, जुमले। आप उनके जो राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हैं वो कहते हैं मोदी जी आते हैं भाषण में कुछ बोल जाते हैं, उनके राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी आते हैं कहते हैं ये तो जुमला था, ये तो चुनावी वादा। चुनावी वादा कहने का मतलब सिर्फ चुनावी वादा रह गया है। तो अब ये बिहार के लोग को सोचना है कि किसका साथ देना।
क्या इस बार भी चुनाव वही जातिवाद के आधार पर ही होगा?
देखिए, जाति एक सच है, इसको कोई नकार नहीं सकता, और सबसे ज्यादा आज की डेट में बीजेपी इसका इस्तेमाल कर रही है। आप अभी हमारे केंद्रीय मंत्री हैं गिरिराज सिंह जी ने, क्या जरूरत पड़ी, अगर आप जाति को नहीं मुद्दा बना रहे हैं तो आपको ये कहने की क्या जरूरत पड़ी कि बीजेपी से कोई भी स्वर्ण जाति का चीफ मिनिस्टर का उम्मीदवार नहीं होगा। ठीक है, कह दिया आपने, हमने मान लिया। आपने कहा कि यादव से होगा, अति पिछड़ा से होगा, दलित से होगा। अरे इन तीनों में से किसी एक नाम को तो बता दीजिए।
नहीं, लेकिन एफआईआर तो लालू जी के खिलाफ भी हुई है। देखिए,
एफआईआर हुआ है। देखिए, एफआईआर नेताओं का काम है भाषण देना और चुनाव आयोग का काम है केस करना। तो ये जब तक चुनाव चलता रहेगा, हर एक तरह के सुशील कुमार मोदी जी के खिलाफ कल नहीं हुई है, वो फ्री की टीवी बांट रहे थे, तो लालू जी ने कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं कहा। लालू जी ने जो सच्चाई थी, जो बिहार की सच्चाई है, उसको बोला है। और मोदी जी तो खुलेआम जनता को घूस दे रहे थे कि हम आपको टीवी देंगे, फ्री में टीवी देंगे, जिसके ऊपर आप मोदी जी का भाषण सुन सकते हैं। कि जो आरक्षण का मुद्दा है, जो मोहन भागवत जी ने आरक्षण का मुद्दा उठाया, तो ये सब चुनाव को देख के रख के, ध्यान में रख करके इस तरह के इश्यूज आते हैं। तो मेरा कहना है कि चुनाव जब एक बार खत्म हो जाए तब आप इस पर डिस्कशन कराइए ना कि आरक्षण होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए। इसको क्यों मुद्दा, हमारे तरफ से तो विकास को मुद्दा बनाया जा रहा है, जिसपे बैंक फुट पे जा रही है बीजेपी। तो एक बार सामने आए, हमसे विकास के मुद्दे पे हमसे बात करें।
थैंक यू, शुभकामनाएं। ये थी मीसा भारती जी, जिनका कहना है कि इस विधानसभा चुनाव में आरजेडी को पहले से ज्यादा बहुमत मिलेगा और इस बार फिर से एक बार विश्वास जनता का पैदा होगा। महुआ से कैमरामैन प्रेम के साथ रमन सिंह शोराण, राज्यसभा टीवी।
Now, correspondent Neelu Vyas spoke with Bihar Congress media in charge Chandan Yadav. Was now speaking about the Grand Alliance. Yadav said that the party has given preference to electoral strategy over party ideology to fight the NDA.
What is at stake for parties like Congress, which are a part of the Grand Alliance? Joining me now is Chandan Yadav, who's a media in charge of the Bihar Congress. What is the biggest challenge for Congress at the moment?
We are not a dominant political force as far as electoral success goes. But definitely in Bihar, here the parliamentary democracy is under threat, and it is because of this that we have formed an alliance with RJD and JDU. And you can say somewhere down the line, the battle of ideology has taken over our electoral strategy.
So you've compromised your electoral strategy as far as Congress is concerned?
See, I'll say we have given priority to our struggle for an ideology.
What is the main focus of Congress in this election? Is it just to stop the Modi juggernaut?
The idea is not to stop someone. The idea is to stop an ideology which is here to divide the people on the basis of religion, caste, color, creed, gender.
For Congress, it's also a kind of a comeback moment. If you get to do well along with RJD and JDU.
We know that electorally we are facing some of the challenges that we need to overcome. We need to strengthen our organization. We need to have a better connect with the people in area in Bihar. So that as an organization will be doing it.
Congress initially okay with Nitish only being projected in the poster?
See, the question needs to be asked to NDA and BJP, who is their leader? And Mahagathbandhan has projected Nitish Kumar as a leader, and which I guess Congress party endorsed that, was the party to endorse, and he has proven his leadership quality in Bihar.
You don't have a problem in being seen on the same page along with Lalu Yadav, who's been charged in the Fordham scam case? Congress doesn't have a problem in that?
See, the Congress has got into an alliance with RJD. It's the Rashtriya Janata Dal, and JDU. They are the leaders. So and RJD also believes in certain principles. Ideologically, we may not agree 100%, but there are certain basic principles of ideology which RJD also agrees upon.
When Rahul Gandhi did not want to share a platform with Lalu Yadav, and there were reports like that coming.
I guess Swaviman rally, Congress president shared dais with.
But that when you realize that there was no option.
No, the option is not. It's a matter of it's a matter of a strategy. Who will share dais with whom, when and where. So that's a question of our electoral strategy.
Now, in the Bihar Assembly elections, one of the biggest challenges before the administration is to ensure safety and security of voters in the most affected areas. It is also proving difficult for the political parties to canvass for votes in these places. We bring you this ground report.
Of the 10 Bihar districts going to polls in the first phase, no less than 4 to 5 are in the grip of Maoists. Lack of development, basic facilities is a stark reality. Maoist attacks during elections complete the picture of the pervasive red terror in these parts. At least 3,500 polling booths are sensitive, guarded by central forces, and on voting day, they will be under helicopter surveillance.
हमारी पुलिस और प्रशासनिक तैयारियां हैं वो बिल्कुल पूरी हैं। इस संदर्भ में चुनाव आयोग ने हमें 100 से ज़्यादा कंपनियां पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस के यहाँ पर उपलब्ध कराया है। उन्होंने यहाँ पर फ्री एंड फेयर और बिल्कुल ही निष्पक्ष रूप में शांतिपूर्वक चुनाव हम करा पाएंगे।
Last year's Lok Sabha elections saw Naxalite violence in Munger's Gangta jungles, Banka and Belhar districts. In the 2010 assembly elections, Maoist mounted cylinder bomb attacks in the Pachhokar Siwan belt. The Maoist presence is most potently felt in areas of the districts of Munger, Banka, Bhagalpur and Lakhisarai. The administration is pursuing a two-pronged objective against the Naxalites to provide security to local residents and to restore their faith in democratic traditions through awareness programs.
जो नक्सल बूथ्स है वहाँ पे उन लोगों को नक्सल बूथ्स आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं और वहाँ पे चुनावी चौपाल भी कर रहे हैं। हम लोगों ने काफ़ी अभी वरीय पदाधिकारी को भी ब्लॉक में भेजकर पर्यवेक्षण कर रहे हैं और इस तरीके के लीकेज को ये करेंगे और उसके ऊपर कड़ी से कड़ी एक्शन लेंगे।
The first phase elections are just over a fortnight away, but in the Maoist affected areas, the colors of campaigning are nowhere to be seen. And in the absence of election promises, the Naxalite menace rings loud and clear. Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's all in this election special bulletin, but news and updates on Bihar polls continue through the day. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.